What up, shit? Timmy's here. Now, since this week I'm doing my reviews for Hellraiser movies because of the new Hellraiser film coming, here's my review for the fourth Hellraiser film here, and that is Hellraiser Bloodline. Yeah, this is where the Hellraiser franchise, to me, and probably to other folks, went down the hill, was with Bloodline. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as the other Hellraiser movies that I'm going to be doing a review for, but Bloodline really killed the theatrical release of Hellraiser. I mean, believe it or not, this was actually the last ever theatrical release for a Hellraiser film. Um, and top off the last to have any major official involvement with the series creator Clive Barker, and so yeah, I mean the other sequels they just did their like it felt like they did their own thing and stuff. And Bloodline, Hellraiser Bloodline here was directed by Kevin Yeager, who, by the way, this is literally his only feature film he's ever done. But he's actually is a really terrific makeup artist, though. He did. Let me pause over this, guys. He did makeup like for some of the Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. Uh, he did makeup for Bill and Ted. Brian Chucky. I mean, he did the. He also directed 2 episodes of Tales of the Crypt. He even did some of the designs for Tales of the Crypt. So he knows his way around the horror genre, just not as a director. I mean, I don't like crapping on directors. I admit they do their best. They always do their best. They could, but to be honest, Kevin really dropped the ball with this film. I mean, the direction of the thing, like you could tell this is actually directed by a first time director. This is why I don't think like you know. Granted, it's not like Kevin Yeager went ahead and directed a Batman movie or anything like that. But this is why directors should start slow with a movie like this because Hellraiser Bloodline is not really like was not really a major feature, but these are the type of films directors should probably sink their teeth into first before doing anything bigger, see how they work and stuff. But yeah, this really shows that not every person can actually be a filmmaker, and Bloodline shown it. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story here, it's more like in the 18th century, where a celebrated toy maker, who's portrayed by Bruce Ramsey, is hired to create his greatest work, which is the Lament configuration, and not knowing that will allow like summoning of the demonic Cenobites, including Pinhead, played by Doug Bradley, and Angela, played by Valentina Vargas. And about 100 years in the future, the Toymaker descends who is also played by Ramsey, who's now an engineer and has a design a space station that he believes can like trap and destroy the Cenobites. And so, like, major themes also includes like time, toys, game playing, adulteries, slavery and stuff. I mean, the film actually did have a couple of trouble history after completing the film, like where original director Yager left the project when Miramax like demanded a few more shots, but then he came back on and stuff. It was like this is I guess this was pretty much like "Don't Worry, Darling" of the '90s, I guess, but still, yeah, this is just not all that right coach should be. I mean, the acting in this thing, other than Doug Bradley even in bad Hellraiser movies, Doug Bradley is great in them. But even he wasn't enough to save this film. I mean, it's just not all that great. I mean, it has some really interesting, some cool supporting players like Ken Myers is in this, Christine Harnos, Valentina Vargas playing like a female Cenobite is really terrific. I mean, I think she plays her part well, and it does have some okay kills in this, but it just missed the mark here. It just does not really like it really like does not really what am I looking for? It doesn't really capture what made the original Hellraiser so great. I mean, this movie just like sad to say I'm gonna be doing like doing reviews for lots of Hellraiser movies I do not like. So sit down and yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be crapping on a lot of Hellraiser movies, which is sometimes I don't like doing, but hey, I do once in a while do like talk about bad films, and Bloodline is one of them. I mean, it's not like the worst horror movie of all time, nothing like that. But yeah, it's just not a great summer. I mean, it's not really the worst out of the franchise, but it's one of the worst. And yeah, I mean, this pretty much became the last film the franchise to develop a story around the original premise, rather than like simply tackling Hellraiser elements onto a existing script, I should say. And yeah, this top it off, the script is horrible. Uh, it's just not good. Like the effects, some of the effects has some decent effects, but just not as good as the predecessors. And yeah, and after this, it really went downhill. So I'll be talking about some of the other Hellraiser movies soon, but yeah, Bloodline is definitely not one of the good ones. Let me know you guys. Have you ever seen Hellraiser Bloodline? If so, what so? Are you a fan of it? Are you not a fan of it? Where to rank in the Hellraiser films for you? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing off.